So welcome everybody. It's good to see you all. I can't tell who all is here, but afterwards I'll say hi. But thank you for being here. I wanted to do this, start this kind of a weekly event, and I'm not sure what day I will end up landing on. I don't know if Friday works for everyone at this time, so feel free in your chat to let me know if there's a better day or a time that works for you. Otherwise, I'll record it and you can play it later. My intention behind this is just to have a way for us to kind of catch up with our energy for the week and just kind of like clear energy out of our bodies, like bring in new energy, kind of allow ourselves to kind of like energetically update to the times and attune to the times. So just kind of a little backdrop, we're in the middle of Aries season, and so this is the season of the warrior. So it's normally a very energetic time, all about our impulses, all about desire, all about that courage it takes to go after those things that really we need experientially wise to define us and to inspire us. What's been interesting about this Aries season, obviously, is that we've had this pandemic of healing in which perhaps we're all meeting a lot of fear and a lot of healing that's needing to happen, both physically, maybe to ourselves, and then to our world, right? And so this energy is a little bit of a different form, perhaps. We have, too, a lot of restructuring going on with planets like Pluto and Jupiter. They're asking us to restructure, to kind of redo the old, to kind of look for more sustainable ways of being in the world, being embodied, of the way in which we accomplish and do the work that we do. And just recently, Saturn went into Aquarius, joining Mars. And so I'm feeling this like impulse to kind of keep exploring, doing things differently. And this is really personal for me, because obviously I'm trying to do things like virtual classes and virtual healing work remotely, which, you know, is not necessarily a new thing, but the fact that I can't do any of it personally, and that I'm having to learn new ways to connect to the people that I care for and to connect to my work. And so I think there's a lot of that going on for all of us, to be able to explore with the unknown, to relearn new things, to learn new skills, and to also kind of integrate lost parts of ourselves that perhaps in doing things new, we get to re-engage with a different form of our creativity. And so there's a lot going on. I'm feeling energetically like there's a lot of integration energy going on with the past, with the present, just with everything that's going on. So we have to be honoring of that within our bodies. So we want to work with that today. So just take some deep breaths, make sure you're comfortable. We're going to be standing for just a moment, then we'll be in a comfortable position. So I'm on a couch. You can be, seated on a meditation cushion or on the floor, kind of anywhere that works for you. We're going to start standing. So when you're ready, kind of get standing, and we're just going to shake. You guys have probably all done this with me before, but just shake out the energy. And I want you to imagine, because I notice this a lot, that there's just this heaviness of energy in the air when you go to the store, or maybe just feeling into the sensitivities. And so I want you to imagine just shaking off energy that's not yours, shaking off heaviness that just kind of collects into your energy field. So just shake it out. You can bounce it or just kind of shake everything with that intention. And then we're going to go to our body and we're going to tap. So I'm going to start by tapping my feet and my legs. And I'm just trying to touch and engage with my own energy body. So my own physicality, where my boundary is. So I'm just tapping. When I get to the pelvis, I'm going to tap a little lighter. And then go to the hips. And when I get to like the adrenals, the kidneys, I'm going to tap a little tighter, lighter. Getting into the core, and the chest, the heart, all the way down the arms. So just really feeling yourself in this. Chest, shoulders, neck. When I get to the head, I'm going to tap lightly all across the head, the face. And then just stand for a moment and just kind of feel, maybe there's a buzzing feel or just an energetic or energized feel. And just kind of take that in. And then we're going to sit back down to a comfortable position. And we're going to do a little breath integration. So we're going to take some breath and we're going to imagine breathing in from the earth up into our heart. So for a moment or two, just take a deep breath in and imagine like your feet were roots of a tree, drawing in energy from the earth in and up through your spine, all the way up your body. So breathing in, exhale, expanding that energy. Breathing in, sending that energy to the periphery. And keep going. That earth energy can be grounding, stabilizing, supportive. It's that energy that slows us down and lets us attune to the energy of nature, the energy around us. So just connect into that earth energy. And then we're going to connect into the celestial, you can call it like planetary energy, that energy that's beyond the earth. So breathing that in. And I imagine that coming through the crown of my head, down to the spine, all the way down to my feet. Allowing us to kind of bring in that new energy. Couple more breath cycles. And then letting your hands fall at your heart, breathing into the heart, where that place of integrating those energies of earth, of celestial, kind of star energy. And then I'm going to place a hand on my head and a hand on my heart. And I'm going to continue breathing there. I can even tap lightly. I like this practice if ever I feel my head and my heart are disconnected, right? Like my head's racing, my mind's racing, and I feel like my heart may not be a part of that. Or if maybe my heart's feeling, and I just need a little clarity, right? I can do this. And it's just like kind of like just touching and going, oh yeah, these two are connected. And as you're breathing, just imagining that line of energy. And then we're going to keep the hand on the heart, and we're going to take the hand to our pelvis and lightly massage or tap, or even just stillness here. Aligning with the pelvic energy, wisdom. This is our feminine. And then into the belly region for that masculine energy. The fire. And then back to the heart to integrate all of those energies. And then releasing your hands to lay comfortably on your mat, on your lap, or anywhere that you'd like to place them. So I want us to kind of let the week land on our bodies. And so the way I kind of can do that is through a body scan. And so I'm just going to kind of scan my body. I kind of start at the head, and I just kind of slowly scan at the rate that I need to allow myself to kind of let whatever I'm sensing about my either physical presence, emotional presence, mental presence, energetic presence, just kind of inform me. And I don't want to get too tied up into any one, kind of anything that I'm noticing in particular. So if I notice like a tightness in my chest, I don't have to stay there and, kind of pick it apart. I just kind of go, okay, that's there. So as we all just close our eyes and begin scanning our bodies, just let that intention of inquiry be there. Of just kind of letting ourselves meet up with our energy, our wholeness. However the week has affected us. However our body presents itself. So you might be able to do a scan, scanning all layers at one time. You could do it full scan of the physical body, then an emotional scan, a mental scan, and then an energetic scan, or you might just choose one. If you're not used to working with the other layers of the body so much, you might just choose the physical one. And the most simplest way to do that is just to notice what you feel in your physical body. So I'm just going to give you a moment to do that at your own pace and time. And just a reminder, if you're not used to working with your body in this way, it's okay for it to feel like you're not getting a lot or that you're not sure if you're, quote, doing it right. It's totally okay just to be with whatever it is that you can sense, whether it's just your desire to have this be a practice that you can do right now, or whether you get maybe colors or you get something that's unusual. Just welcome that in. We're just connecting our awareness with the present moment. So I'm going to be quiet so that you can do this however you want. Again, just breathing as you do this. It's totally fine that you might not get past a certain area in your body and then it becomes really difficult to scan any further. I have that happen all the time. And I just go with that. Sometimes only specific areas of the body want to speak. But really just trying to let yourself feel comfortable in meeting yourself. In the next few moments, start to complete your scan, whatever you got being just fine. I'm going to give you a visualization to try. Imagining this body to be like a garden. And so in your garden, you're going to have maybe an array of flowers, vegetables, anything growing right, anything organic and living. And we can see that these flowers or plants are information, right? They're aspects of you, they're parts of you. And we don't have to necessarily get too detailed into what they represent or what they are, but just kind of notice what your garden is like. So I want you to kind of let it inform you the way your creativity and your intuition would work, which means that you might notice, wow, I have just flowers, or wow, I have just greenery, or there's not much in my garden. Maybe it's just soil right now. So just seeing your initial picture, and part of working with our intuition is just trusting that whatever we get is information, whether we understand it or not. And that the relationship with our intuition is just like any one person. We have to spend time with it in order for it to be developed. And so just noticing what your garden might look like. How big your garden is. And just kind of a notice of how healthy it is. Like, do you feel like the soil is dry? Do you feel like the soil might not be very rich? Does it seem overly watered? Does it feel like it needs some sunlight or some warmth? Does it feel like it hasn't been tended to, or maybe it's been over tended to? And it's maybe feels like it's being, trying to look too perfected, right? Just see what you get. Just kind of take your inner vision and just kind of scan over and just get an overall sense of your garden. And now with any type of garden, perhaps, there might be some things growing that weren't intentional. And today we're going to name these things. Maybe they're fears. Maybe there are things that we feed with worry, anxiety. It could be things that we pick up, like through the wind, through the collective, like we just get this general sense of something that really isn't internal to our own garden, but somehow it's gotten in our garden. So for the next few breaths, I want you to imagine pulling out the weeds at the root, so not just the top portions that you see, but really putting your hands in the soil and pulling out any of these things that don't belong in your garden. So maybe it is indeed fear. Maybe it's just negative thinking. Maybe it's beliefs that aren't quite congruent with who you are today. And just visualize where they are. Are there a lot of them? Are there just a few? Maybe you don't find any today. But I want you to pull them out, and I want you to place them in a compost bin. So we're going to have an imaginary compost bin that you can place them in. And so just take your time. You may have, as you're pulling out these outliers, or whatever you want to call them, you might have an indication of what they are. You might get some awareness that, yeah, I definitely been feeling a lot of fear or resistance. And it's not that these things are inherently bad. We just may or may not want them in our garden right now. So we're just taking them out and placing them in a compost bin. And again, this is just through your imagination, through your imagery. Sometimes I call in support to help me. So if I'm feeling like, wow, I just feel a lot of resistance in doing this process, or maybe I feel like I don't even know how to tell, I like to call in support. So that can be through nature spirits, if you connect to plant allies, animal spirits. Maybe you have angelic beings that you call on, deity that you call on. Maybe it's a loved one that's passed that you call on, or just a general spirit of Mother Nature. Whatever resonates, you can call in and ask some help in your gardening to help sort, perhaps, or in knowing. But you got to do it yourself, right? So though they're helping, maybe point it out, or guiding you, or supporting you, we're going to allow our own energy to pull it out based on the compost. So I'll give you a few more breaths to do that. And then just noticing as you're doing this how it feels to pluck out something that you're not intending to be there, something that feels like it's not supportive. It might feel a little odd, kind of vacated in your body, or kind of like a little awkward. And so I want you to go over the compost bin for a moment and just kind of till it, kind of mix it up with what's there, with this intention that we're recycling this energy, that any of these energies that we find in ourselves, like we don't have to like blast it out of us, but we can just say there might be a more useful form of this, perhaps mental energy, or this fire energy, or any of that you're finding. There might be a way to recycle it, to kind of upgrade it. So we're just going to allow that to happen. So now we're going to switch gears a bit, come back to your garden, and we're going to do a little replanting. We have some new space in our gardens. And so I want you to be cognizant of any intentions in this moment that you'd like to place a seed of intention into your garden. So maybe that's an intention for more clarity. It could be really general. It can be a really specific intention. And so you'll just make that intention. I'll share one of mine with yours, is that I really have this strong intention to build this community that can gather virtually or together in person, that promotes all of our healing, our growth, our connection, that literally lets us all just be who we are and support each other in our life, our struggles, our successes, that we feel a part of, that we really feel connected to. That's something that I really, really want to create. So I'm going to put that seed of intention in my garden. There might be other ones, like I want to eat healthier, or I want to continue my movement practice, or I want to get outside more. It can be so super simple, and it can also be like really big, like I want to start this, or I want to create new ways for me to earn a living. So go ahead and maybe there's 1 or 2, maybe there's 10, just go ahead and again, hold that intention. So say it clearly and then place that seed in your garden. And then when you finish planting those seeds, take some of that compost soil and sprinkle it around your garden, knowing that that energy that maybe was not super constructive for you can now be constructive and recycled and updated in a new way to support what you do want in your garden. So kind of invoke a little bit of that courage. Go ahead and sprinkle that. And kind of notice how you feel, if you still feel something missing, right? Or if you feel you need to fill it with a little bit more soil, or maybe it's just holding space for feeling like the garden's not complete, you're not sure yet. And that might be where you are, is I'm not really sure what I want, or I'm not really sure what I put there, and I'm just going to be okay with it not, again, feeling completely complete. Now go back to how we were viewing our garden, and we were wondering kind of what did it need, and perhaps our garden needs some sunlight. So I want you to connect to the sun energy, whether you can see it or not. And through your breath work, pull that sun energy into your heart and sprinkle that sun energy across your body, intending it to feed your garden. Just pulling that sun energy, that warmth, that vigor, vitality, courage, creative essence, all the things the sun really embodies for us. Imagine it warming your body. And now maybe your garden needs a little water. Maybe your garden felt a little dry. Maybe you don't feel that. So I want you to connect to a water source that feels really pure to you. It could be a river, a lake, right? Something that you imagine. So kind of get a tone for this water energy. This rejuvenating kind of yin energy that restores. About like our emotional well-being. And as you do that, I want you to feed into your desires. What kind of feelings will happen when these desires start to spring forth into life? Like maybe you're going to feel joyful. Maybe you're going to start to connect to a feeling of harmony, balance, of fulfillment, of connection. Gratitude. Like all those, like kind of pull into your water, all those feelings that are part of your creations, and just allow that to be like, maybe it's like, you know, you're sprinkling it over, maybe kind of like a hose. And again, let your water receive that, your garden receive that water. And then for this energy, I'm going to touch my heart. And we're going to find some gratitude. So anytime we're setting intentions, right, we got to get our vibrations at a way in which the emotional energy, right, the energy emotion can be at a vibration that gives it a lot of power. And so I want you to breathe into your heart. And if there's only one thing, right, but find something that you can totally cultivate a connection of gratitude with. And shower that over your garden, over your body. So it might just be one thing you can appreciate. Like for me, it's I really appreciate right now that my schedule and my pace has gotten slow. That is so wonderful for me personally. So I'm just gonna give a little gratitude to my body, to kind of just in general out to the world that, wow, thank you for letting me slow down. Thank you for letting me be able to honor more of my body's needs and rhythms. Maybe it's 2 or 3 things you have, but just really connect to that essence of gratitude. And I want you to connect to everyone in our group right now, and then everyone in the world that has intentions that they're feeding. That there are things that they want, and then connect to that universal gratitude, like connecting to so that we're bigger, right? This energy gets bigger because we are all interconnected, and we all are doing our own work to grow and to cultivate within our lives things that are meaningful for each of us, whether they're the same or they're different. So connect to that universal force of love, gratitude, of appreciation. And then send that out in a way, like almost like we're making this collective circle of intention, of love, of gratitude, and that we're just kind of vibrating it out into the world. Or you can imagine like shooting an arrow out into the universe. And just take a moment to feel that. And then we're going to do our victory stance. If you did my equinox workshop, this was the practice that I was teaching that I've always loved, that I learned on through a YouTube video a long time ago. And so I liked the Wonder Woman stance. Because I liked Wonder Woman. It can be this, but it's a stance that lets you feel proud and really connected to that energy of courage. So for me, I'm going to spray, because I really think aromatherapy is what really helps kind of bring memory, right, and intention. So I'm going to spray my Aries spray of courage over me. If you have a spray or something that you can create as part of a ritual when you think of your intentions, and I want you to stand proud and just breathe. And feel, and again, connect to that energy of what you're creating in your life, what is unfolding, what is new, what is bold, what's going to be cutting edge for you, what's really ripe for you now that you can step into. So again, maybe making sure your chest is proud, you feel connected to your core, you're standing firm in your legs, and your maybe a little upward gaze, or just a lifting of the head a little bit out of the shoulders. Breathe. You might just be like visualizing in your life what this might look like as you are victorious and creating and manifesting in your life the things that you are ready to choose with your choices consciously, what you're ready to invest in with believing in yourself. Willing to cultivate faith. Take 2 more breaths. And then we'll slowly come back to a seat. Right, just kind of notice what's happening in your body. So you can decide in this next one if if you want to create a boundary. I find sometimes if I'm going out in public, if I've got to do some grocery shopping, or I just notice I am taking in a lot of other energies. Maybe I'm just a really sensitive person and I just do tend to feel more that collective energy, that I can kind of just place a energetic boundary around my energy. And I don't like to look at it as being like a shield that doesn't let anything in, but I just kind of keep it a little bit more outside my periphery so that I can be like, I'll sense that energy, but I don't have to like take it in and think that it's mine. So if that feels good to you, imagine what that boundary might look like. It could be kind of more like a gelatinous material with like sparkles in it. It could be like a filter or a gate. Place anything there, plants, right? You can place in allies. My daughter, when we do this with her, she likes to put like animals at hers, and that feels good to her. So just kind of anything that feels good, just kind of place that if that feels good. If you don't feel like you don't need a boundary because maybe you're being home and you're working on maybe connecting more into feeling and that doesn't feel right, then just let that be. And then we're just going to bring in with our breath the 4 elements. So for a couple moments, connect into your body again, being the earth element, and to how we are a mirror of the earth. So just connecting maybe to a plant in your room or out in nature, just kind of breathing that in for a couple breaths. Earth, like saying, earth, please be with me, please guide me. Please allow me to feel stable, connected to the physical realm and world, to slow down, to notice where I'm supported. And then connect into the water element. That was our emotional energy, the yin, the rejuvenative. Maybe you'll drink a glass of water when we get finished. Connecting to maybe raindrops if you have that happening. Fire energy, maybe it's the sun or maybe a candle that you're lighting, taking that in. Warmth, creativity, identity, desire, action. And then bring in air elementals, and that's again our perception, our mind, our thoughts, communication. We're just asking blessing, support from these elements. Breathe it in. And then I'd like to just read to you a prayer, 4 directions prayer to kind of leave you with. So again, you can just close your eyes and kind of feel the vibration of this prayer. I think it's a beautiful prayer. And so for me, like it just is like an energy that I just kind of let kind of come in and out through me. So just kind of, again, just letting this energy be like a way to sparkle and brighten up. Creator, it is I. Thank you for today's sunrise, for the breath and life within me, for all your creations. Creator, hear my prayer and honor my prayer. As the day begins with the rising sun, I ask, Spirit Keeper of the East, Brother Eagle, be with me. Fly high as you carry my prayers to the Creator. May I have eyes as sharp as yours, so I'm able to see truth and hope on the path I've chosen. Guide my step, give me courage to walk in the circle of my life with honesty and dignity. Spirit Keeper of the South, Wolf, be with me. Help me to remember to love and feel compassion for all mankind. Help me walk my path with joy and love for myself, for others, for the 4-legged, the winged ones, the plants, for all of creation upon Mother Earth. Show me it's right for me to make decisions with my heart, even if at times my heart becomes hurt. Help me to grow and nurture my self-worth in all ways. Spirit Keeper of the West, Brown Bear, be with me. Bring healing to the people I love and to myself. Bring into balance the physical, mental, and spiritual, so I'm able to know my place on this earth, in life and in death. Heal my body, heal my mind, and bring light, joy, and awareness to my spirit. Spirit Keeper of the North, White Buffalo, be with me. As each day passes, help me to surrender with grace the things of my youth. Help me to listen to the quiet, to find serenity and comfort in the silences as they become longer. Give me wisdom so I'm able to make wise choices in all things which are put in front of me. And when time for my change of worlds has come, let me go peacefully without regrets for the things I neglected to do as I walked along my path. Mother Earth, thank you for your beauty and for all you have given me. Remind me never to take from you more than I need, and remind me to always give back more than I take. And that's by Vera Deering. Take a couple breaths and just notice how you feel. I hope you feel lighter and brighter, more connected to this energy. I'm gonna draw a card for all of you for us to take into our weekend. This is through my one of my astrology decks. Oh, this one jumped out, Moon. The Moon card. I'll let you see it a bit closer. The Moon card. And the Moon connects us to our feelings, to our intuition, right? To self-care, taking baths, right? Drinking water, connecting to nurturing energy. I kind of think of anything you would do to a child, someone, an animal that you love, that they need to do that for us, especially those tender parts, right? In which we have developed something in which this time might be a really deep healing time. So honoring the moon, the natural rhythms, right? Changing, ebbing, and flowing. And then I'll draw from my Earth deck, which is another one of my favorite decks. Oh, this one kind of jumped. Wake up call, tsunami. This card generally always comes up when it's time to wake up and to be alert as to some opportunities and also new ways, right? We have to adapt very quickly in the tsunami energy. So it's definitely one of an inner vigilance of that, like things might come in unexpected forms. And this is why connecting to our intuition is really helpful with that too. But again, that wake up call that like things can't keep going the way they were. We have to do something different. And so what in your life maybe is asking for new energy, for new thought, for insight, start thinking out of the box. And that's a kind of a message for us. And again, we have a full moon coming up. So these would be good things to ponder as you get into that full moon energy. So thank you for gathering for this. I'd love to hear from you, any thoughts you have or anything you want to share today. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a new full moon ceremony on the full moon on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. So I think we'll do that. But yeah, feel free to say something, you guys. Thank you for joining.